Barbara. So I just wanted to have a quick word with you about having a look at my paintings before you wrote that very nice essay for me.
I do want to talk about that. I knew, although you sent me the images of the works in order for me to write about them, sometimes you can write about works merely from having seen images, but with yours, I think it's very important to see the works in reality because of the textural quality of your work, but also I find they're very dramatic works. They're very affecting. So when I walked into King Street, when I came to see them, and there they were, big and small. But there's this quite palpable feeling of airiness about them. A kind of, make you inhale. They make you feel rather inflated. In a physical sense, I find I do react to Amanda's paintings quite physically. The long view is such an evocative phrase because we all have our petty struggles day to day, but we try to concentrate on the long view, and the older you get, you find it doesn't really. There's never really a moment when you feel you've got there.
No, that's true. That's what the show is really about. That's why I called it that, the long view, long-term commitment to painting, long-term relationships with people. I try and take the long view on most things. And, yeah, it can be a long view when you're working on one painting for 12 months as well. So it can be the long view just on one work.
I was talking before about the drama that I see in your pictures. There's one in this show that is a very stormy kind of night scene, and it's a very tempestuous kind of scene that almost looks like a stage set. And you seem to do a lot of walking out at night, to me, under the moon.
Yeah, that is a nighttime one that I did. I waited for the sun to go down. I'd started it earlier in the day. I think that's the sort of 2.4 metre, one of the black ones.
Yeah.
And there was an enormous moon that night, and I've got a few trees on my place. I didn't go out with my big board into the middle of the night. I was quite lazy and just sort of moved a little bit off my balcony. I've got a veranda that I could get a full view of the sky. And so I actually just bashed that painting out sort of pretty quickly of the night sky. But yeah, it took a while for the sun to go down, and I stayed with it until about probably 3 or 4 in the morning and got most of it down.
Wow.
But yeah, it's got an okay energy to it, I think, that one.
Well, I think it's got an extraordinary sense of energy in it, and tempest and toil, and I keep returning to that word drama. There's one of Mount Ainslie, which is, because I live on the south side of Canberra, of course it's not my mountain, but even that is just a very, very intense little slice.
That's an ordinary little painting, but it's a nice place that I like to go to, and there's some very important stories about Mount Ainslie being an Aboriginal area for women. So there's a lot of historic significance to Mount Ainslie and how it overlooks the whole of Canberra, and the War Memorial, of course, is right underneath it. But it's a little painting that I quite like, and again, that was done on dusk. It's got quite a dark sky. Yeah, I'm quite happy to throw the kit in the car and charge off and try and get something down. But, while I am in a new area, I try and find out a bit more about the place before I bang out paintings that are just of a place, Luke Scaberis has a saying where he says, it's not a painting of a place, it's about a place. And I think, that's an important distinction between just painting a decorative painting of a certain area. It's really nice, and you can stay with a painting longer if you know the history of a place.